Hello everybody. This is a video uh, for advanced conversion. Okay, so basically I've been trying to make a cheap fountain pen that can be eye drop. So this whole thing has the capability of being eye drop, like a lot of ink for the chamber. As cheap as possible. So I'm making a fountain pen, an eye drop demonstrator fountain pen, but as economical as possible, right? So this actually came from this type of ballpoint pen, ink ballpoint pen. It has a lot of capacity for the ink to go in, and it writes, normally with a very tiny tip ballpoint ball ink, right? So I'm converting this the tip into a fountain pen tip, which is in this. Okay, and now it works beautifully. The nib and the feeder, I got it from this type of fountain pen, which is sold here very cheaply locally. Well, it's made in China, but it's been sold quite cheap here, maybe less than like around 50 cents US. It's now going for around 5,000 rupiah, right? It's actually a clicker fountain pen, but it's, I guess it works good for compared to other retractable fountain pen, which costs a lot. This one is very economical. This one right now sold for about also less than $1 US, around 10,000 rupiah. But the problem with this, a lot of people are complaining that since it has no automatic cap on here, so you can actually just see that the tip is right there, right? So you put it in your pocket, whatever, you're gonna get a blot of ink everywhere on your shirt and stuff, or in whatever you put this thing in. So they have another version where there is like a small plastic cap on this, but the problem with that also is that after you take it off, you click it on, you use it, the cap itself doesn't post on the back, which means that if you put it on the side, whatever, you might forget about it, you might lose it and stuff like that. So and that one costs a bit more than this one. I think 3 times more, right? So I've been playing around with this type of fountain pen because I really like the nib, since the nib is like very, very tiny, right? It's very sharp and very tiny. So if you are a fan of the fine nib, extra fine nib, and those tiny tip, and it has a little bit of flex to it too. So if you press a little bit harder, you can get a thicker line. So I've been getting the nib and the feeder from this type of fountain pen and playing around making my own other fountain pen, right? The easiest, of course, just make a cap for this, right? And then you can use it as is. But I also want, the criteria is I want to make a demonstrator fountain pen which can hold a lot of ink. And yeah, so I've been trying this and trying that, and recently I found this type of pen sold really cheap also, maybe like 10 cents, yeah, about 10-20 cents, 2,500 rupiah, something like that, or 5,000 rupiah, something like that, right? So this is very cheap, and so I'm just trying to get this out and replace it with a nib. So that's we're gonna get to it right now. This is gonna be quite a long video, and since I already did one for the green, I'm gonna do one for the black. And for some reason this pen gives you a lot more ink if you're buying the black ink one, right, compared to the color one. They sell green and I think red, blue, right? So that's the green one, they only give you that much ink inside. The black is almost double. Okay, so we're gonna get First, we're gonna take the nib from here, since it has a spring in here to get this movement going, and then it has that, right? So we're just gonna pull this out with a plier. Don't put too much pressure, just enough to grab on it. Here's my camera also. Alright, so you pull that out. You fix the angle of this first. You pull this out. It has this thing here that has a slot right there. Okay, and then it has another ridge where it pushes, so it can actually hold that spring from coming up. So what you get left is this thing, which is a very, very fine nib and feeder. This come off, and that the cap of this also come off. Okay, so that's just a protection, I think. And it has one of those wrap around. And I actually been enjoying this nib very much for to get a fine or medium line. So we got this out. Now we're gonna take this one out. This one has a cap and it tightens right here, I guess. Okay, to get this out, you basically just pull let me get some tissue. Because it's gonna be a messy operation. Tap the ink down first and then start prying this. Okay, you see the gap coming off, starting, and just slowly pull that. Okay, I'm back. It seems like the black one has a different tip than the clear one, so I'm just gonna do the clear one again, since that's the one I tried before and works. So you see there's a small gap right there. There we go. And I'm gonna use this one into the black one. So I'm just gonna put the black one back in here and see if that will work. It should work. All right. So I'm gonna put the cap back on this. Okay. So what I'm trying to get now is just this thing right here. I don't need that. I don't need this. So this come off also. You see that? This thing actually come off. So I'm only using this part here. And I'm putting it in here. We don't need this guy as well. So it's gonna work. So for some reason this ballpoint type of pen actually work exactly like the size is exactly right here. But since it's gonna just be a surface tension, right? It's just gonna be a friction thing. If you press hard on this, it will come back. So I need to put something around the feeder to make it even more tighter, right? So it doesn't just like, if I put too much pressure, the whole nip will gonna fall into the inside the barrel of the ink. So what I figure out is, since I need something like a small sleeve to make it tighter when it fits here, I'm using the easiest thing I can find is a straw. And the straw that I found is not big enough, it's too small, so I'm just gonna cut it. And cut it open like this. Okay, I need 2 of those. So another one. Okay, so this is gonna fit in here. Like that, like so. So now the other one. This is, as I said, it's more of an advanced manipulation of or assembly of a fountain pen. All right, so I put 2 straws back to back, and now it is a much tighter fit in there. So hopefully that will not make it. Oh, I got a fold there. That gives it a much tighter fit. All right, so it's a lot of pressure to push this back, so that's gonna hold it in place. And be careful when you're pressing all this that you don't break this. Even though if you do break it, I think it might not be a problem, since it's gonna be all ink everywhere shooting in. And all you have to do now is put it back in the barrel. I will clean up some of the ink that's under here first. Okay, and if you want a tighter seal, you might want to put some silicone grease on this thing first before you put it in, which I might just do that. Let me get my silicone grease. Okay, I'm back. Apparently I left my silicone grease at home, so I'm just gonna do this without the silicone grease, and hopefully it doesn't leak. Right, so just like that, it fits right here. And this is the same way if you want to fill it back in when the inks ran out. You have to pry that open, pull it out, and then use a eyedropper or a syringe, a blunt nose syringe, fill in the ink, and then put it back in here. This is pressure. So I guess they do make the green and the black slightly different. It's a lot tighter. This is the barrel for the black, and that's the barrel for the green. So it's actually has a different system. So that's not going in as easily as I hope, as it was. I'm gonna use this and press down. Oh, there you go. So that's a very nice tight seal going on right there. And the cap should be working fine. There you go. right? Caps is good. You can cap it in the back too. You can post it in the back, which is great, so you're not going to lose your cap. And then shake it a little bit, let the ink go all the way into the feeder, and it should be writing soon, momentarily. Yep. And that's how you get a demonstrator, big capacity ink fountain pen for less than, let's say, I think total cost less than about 10,000 rupiah, so about $1 US, $2 US. But you do have to find this brand though, of pen and this type of fountain pen, all right, to make this work. And that's it, I guess. Okay, happy writing. And as usual, to test whether it's gonna leak or any problem, I will usually not put this in my bag or in my pen case just as is. I'm gonna wrap it up in tissue, wrap it up in plastic, and then bring it around for normal daily activities and see if it has any problem or not, whether it leaks and stuff like that, right? So if it does leak, it will not be all over my my bag or anything to make too much mess. Okay. Okay, enjoy.